Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Italian Cultural Center for Night of Champions. What makes a champion? Blood, sweat, tears. Tonight, men from all over the province will make their way to the Italian Cultural Center in Vancouver to show the crowd their heart and resolve. They are not world beaters. They are men with day jobs, brothers, husbands, and fathers, all fighting for their passion of the game. This is Night of Champions. The broadcasted portion of tonight's fights will feature Langara economics major from Action Boxing Club, Jerik Brown, fighting North Burnaby Boxing's Remy Lavioe, and also the main event, BC heavyweight champion Adam Querido will be defending his championship against Chris Van Leuven. I'm province boxing analyst Lev Jackson. I'm alongside Stephen Chua for tonight's fights. And here we have Jerik Brown from Langara in the blue and Remy Lavioe in the red. As you can see, Jerik's coming out a little bit aggressive to start this round. He's really trying to impose his will on his thinner opponent.
You notice that the red boxer, Lavioe, he's more of an outfighter. He's sticking to the outside. He's using his footwork to move around the opponent. Notice the way he's always avoiding the hits, bobbing and weaving right through. He's using his footwork to the maximum at this point.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely very much the boxer versus the puncher in this matchup. We got the slick Lavioe working his way on the outside. He's faking, he's moving a bit nicely. And you know that Jerik Brown, he'd love to say, I'll take one or two of yours to give you one of mine.
That's exactly the point. I talked to Jerik earlier before the fight. He said that conditioning would play a huge role on it. He's been working very hard on basically working his cardio, doing the treadmill, doing the standard runs. He's also said that he's hoping to get in, right into the guy's face, hopefully corner him around the ropes. And at this point, it seems like he's trying to go for it.
Big hook right there from Jerik Brown. Let's hope he follows up with that.
And there he goes. He's trying to work. Oh, man, but he just gets backed into a corner.
That's the other thing is that Jerik is not a 154-pound fighter. He's definitely small for the weight class, and it's definitely going to tell as the rounds wear on against a bigger opponent.
A few good swings.
As you can see, he gets on the outside, he throws his jabs. That's exactly what Lavioe's doing. He's throwing his jabs, throwing what he wants, and then he's out of there. He's moving out of there. Jabs, then he moves. Gotta like what you see from the young fighter in Lavioe. He's a very raw amateur fighter, and he's looking very composed tonight. That's 10 seconds in the round. A pretty good round one for Remy Lavioe, I'd have to say. Absolutely. You look in the replay here, this is very much the boxer versus the puncher. You see Lavioe throwing those nice straight punches, jabs, uppercuts, gets cracked with one. There's the one that Jerik Brown was waiting for. He needs to do more of that if he wants to win this fight.
Oh man, looks like we're going for some good trades. Oh, but Lavioe is starting to dominate them.
Yeah, they're good exchanges though. This is the type of fight that Jerik Brown needs if he wants to get in there. He needs to get on the inside with his taller opponent. Wants to dig. Those are good body shots there. Those are effective later in the fight. It's too bad they're only working with a 3-round fight though for Jerik Brown. Good straight punching combination from Lavioe. And you see, Jerik Brown is very much a steak and eggs guy. He doesn't know a jab. If you want to say a jab's a vegetable, he doesn't eat his vegetables. What's a jab there? You see, he's going in with the hooks and power punches. That's what he's going with, his steady diet. This is what he knows.
And you notice the reach of Lavioe is just absolutely dictating the fight at the moment. Oh! And there he goes back to it. Just keeps on circling. It just seems that Jerik just doesn't seem to be able to find a comfortable range where he can actually connect with those hooks.
Yeah, and that's a lot about the weight class thing, is that Jerik Brown would definitely be more, would benefit himself if he can go down to the lighter weights, the 147s, the 140 maybe. 154 is a little bit thick for his body type. The other thing is he was taking this fight on short notice, might I remind. He took it this week. He got a call saying, do you want to come to the Italian Culture Center? And here we are. And if you forget who the opponents are, you can check our trunk lineup at the top. It's the red and Lavioe with Lavioe and yellow and black with Jarrett Brown. That marks the 10 seconds of the round.
Fighters worked up in a clinch. And there we have it.
Punch their way out. Good second round. It was a bit more competitive than the first, I'd have to say.
So, Lev, what would you like to see out of the two fighters? What kind of game plans would Jerik be able to do in order to win?
I think Jerek's going to need a big round, especially with the Combsport scoring system is much like the professionals. He's going to need to maybe score a knockdown, and it looks like he might be going for that right now. He's got Lavioe in all kinds of trouble at this moment. He just really needs to follow up. This is the combination punching Jarrett Brown should have been doing all night.
It's an excellent right hook connected with him. You could actually see Lavioe's head snap back on that one.
The other thing you have to notice is Lavioe will have to be gassing as he was fighting a very good fight, but when you're on the move, it also mentally takes a lot out of you. And Jarrett Brown's going to have to try and take advantage of that if he wants to win this fight.
Absolutely. At this point, Brown's got to take advantage of the fact that Lavioe isn't quite as light on his feet as he was a few rounds ago.
Oh, roundhouse shot there. Those are the type of things that'll tire you out more than your opponent when you miss.
Oh, this is not good for Brown. He's got to press his advantage at the moment. You can't let Lavioe keep on dancing away.
I would definitely say he's won this round. The second one was close, so this fight could be in the air at this point, depending on how the judges saw the second round. If they like the pressure punches of Jarrett Brown, they'd give it to him. If they like the crisp, cute boxing of Lavioe, then it would be going to him. But at this point, if Lavioe doesn't do something big this round, it'll definitely be round 2 that decides the fight.
Seems like Lavioe's found his rhythm again. He's again working the outside. Playing a very safe game, sticking it with a jab, walking away.
And walked into a right hand there. He's walking away, but got walked right into with that right hand. And those body shots, they're a bit more effective in the early rounds at this point. There's a bit of steam taken off both guys' punches. As they trade, though, 10 seconds to end the fight, you know how this is going to end. These guys are trading it to the bell. Good fight. That was good. Jarrett Brown definitely got the last round, and you can see combination punches is what was doing it. You see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, boom, 13, 14, 15, 16,
absolutely
17, 18. That was what he needed to do earlier in the fight. Unfortunately, it might have been too little, too late. I'd have to agree with that decision. That was probably the right choice. But now it's time for our main event after this. A good sign of camaraderie from our opponents. And this is for the BC Provincial Championship.
Heavyweight title. Now coming into this fight, I've been talking to both fighters. Carrido said he's going to try to fight more on the outside. He's been working a lot on his footwork, working a lot on his speed. On the other hand, Chris Van Leuven, Red Trunks, said he's going to try and tire out the fighter. He's a more experienced guy with over 20 years of kickboxing and boxing experience. Says he's got more composure on him. Let's see if it works out for him, if he can tire Carrido out and maybe take it the game later on in the fight.
Yeah, wonder how much of his diet is composure and how much of his diet is Twinkies, looking at his physique, though. We'll find out, though. It's one thing you need to learn in boxing. Yeah, there you go. He's wobbled the champ as it is. Querido was hurt. One thing you learn in boxing early as a heavyweight is that you can never underestimate a fat guy. You don't know what these guys are capable of.
And judging from what we've seen so far, he seems to be taking these hits in stride. We've already got several shots to the face. Still seems to be a composed fighter.
Well, you're not going to hurt a guy of that type of physical stature to the head. He has too much balance on his neck. You see the size of his neck. He doesn't have a 2 of dimes on his neck. where you're going to hurt him is to that soft belly that you see jiggling as he moves around the ring. If he can take it to the belly, then that'll be the true sign, is that he'll more than likely will be able to get it into the later rounds and work his game plan.
But as of so far, Carrido still doesn't seem to be doing that. He's trying to pop a few in, but for the most part, he's still shooting for the finish.
Oh, well, here we go here. He is unloading on his opponent. But Van Leuven seems to take it, as you said, in stride. He said, all right, this is what you got. I can take that. But he has to come back with something is the thing.
Exactly.
He'll be throwing the rounds away if he doesn't do that.
You can take all the shots in the world and still be composed, but that just means you're a punching bag.
Yep, that's right. And that's the big thing. This is amateur boxing, not professional, is that you don't have as many opponents. People come to win these fights. You're not coming into someone's backyard for a payday. These guys don't get paid. And as we see, 88 Olympian Manny Sobral in the corner of Adam Querido. And at the start of round number 2.
Van Leuven starting off with a good bit of aggression there. However, it is giving way to the superior combinations of Carrido.
Yeah, Carrido, you definitely know, is the more athletic of the two, a bit sharper with his punches, so you know that he's definitely has the athletic advantage. He's moving around with his punches, throwing them nice and straight, and at this point, there's no real answer from Van Leuven. Oh, there's the aggression, but it's countered right back by the sharp punches of Querido. Good jab exchange from the two of them.
Now at this stage in the fight, Chris says that he's trying to weather the shots and he wants to tire out Carrido. Do you see any sign of tiring out at this point, Lev?
Carrido is, as we said, he's in shape. This guy has had a few pro MMA fights himself. He's had a good amateur background in boxing. Obviously, he just recently won the BC championship. He's not going to be tired out. He's in shape. And also, he just got a title. Once you got the championship, you want to be the champ. You want to be the one moving around. You want to be the one to bring it up to that next level. And right now, Querido really wants to show his hometown crowd that he's here and he's the champ.
Oh, Chris has had a few good moments here, though. Pushing him against the ropes.
At this point, I'd say that they picked the perfect opponent for him to tell everyone he's the champ with. He has a willing guy that will be going the few rounds. Will be going maybe 4 or 5 rounds, and he isn't really doing anything to take Querido out of his comfort zone at this point in time, at least.
Most definitely, and I don't know, but it seems to me this also seems to be just about as big of a matchup when it comes to age difference as well. Carrido mentioned that he's 29 years old, and Chris Van Leuven is, I believe, between 35 and 36. So age differentials is huge.
Oh yeah. So here we have the 3rd round here, and the one thing that when you're winning a fight like this, maybe after in a round or so, that I would have to be concerned about if I was in the corner of Carrido is fighters getting a bit too anxious, is when he's landing at will on a guy that isn't going down. Maybe you're going to start taking more risks that he doesn't need to be taking to win the fight. So Olympian Manny Sobral in the corner will definitely have his hands full having to deal with that. And there we have it again, Querido getting his foe on the ropes, and the champ lets go his punches. Those are the combinations that are going to win him this fight.
Now, in terms of reach, Carrido clearly seems to have a distinct advantage. In terms of weight, however, Van Leuven holds an almost 50-pound edge over his opponent. However, he does not seem like he's been able to use it to his advantage in pressing him against the ropes. It just seems like it's survival mode at this point.
Well, the word is age advantage. There is no such thing as size advantage unless it's good weight. As you can clearly see on Van Leuven, this is not good weight he's walking around with. He definitely would be a more effective fighter 20 or 30 pounds lighter, I would have to imagine.
Clearly so, showing signs of fatigue. Van Leuven a lot of times now just has his hands down.
Yeah, well, that's also the mental thing now, is he knows he's not going to get knocked out with any one punch of Carrido. He's eaten the best he's got. But you have to think, if he wants to win this fight, he's 36, 35 years old, as you said. This is a BC title fight. I don't know how many more of these he can get. You might want to see him doing something already.
But the question is, can he even do it? Can he even execute at this stage of age and physique?
Looks like he's almost trying to lollygag his opponent into a bit of a false sense of security, is that if he can get Querido opening up with big punches, like I said, going out of taking unnecessary risks, that might be his best shot at landing that big punch. 275 pounds, this man's going to be able to punch if he gets you with something clean.
Now at this stage of the game, this is where, Van Leuven's plan should be going into effect. He's weathered a lot of shots. If Carrido were to be tired, it would be at this point, but it seems to be that he's still looking in good form.
Yeah, that's right, he is in good shape. As we said, this is the 4th round of 5, and that's a new thing in the amateur ranks, but as we see, Adam Querido is unloading. As we said, that false sense of security. We don't want him getting hit with something big right here. At least his corner doesn't. We might like it as fans. But you see, he is not taking risks. He was taking risks, and as we see, he got caught right there. That's exactly what Van Leuven was looking to do. Got him in that false sense of security, and he hit him with that big shot. But it wasn't enough. He's going to have to do a little bit more than that. Adam Querido is not the type of guy to get knocked out with one shot, so Van Leuven's going to have to be a bit more effective, as he did there with that 3-punch combination. They exchange hooks in the center of the ring there. But yet, there it is the activity and athleticism of Querido throughout the fight has made a big difference.
Mm-hmm. And even in terms of technique, you can see a huge difference. I mean, like, Carrido, you can see the movement of the hips, the torque being generated by his strikes. Van Leuven, on the other hand, just seems to be in more of a reaching.
And here's that volume punches, is this guy started throwing caution to the wind a bit. He's throwing there about a 20-punch combination. He's landing a lot. Those are the body shots he's looking for. He's doing everything right. But unfortunately, as we know, he comes back, gets hit with a good punch there. So I would still say that was another Querido round by far, heads and tails above, but he's just really got to be careful, especially in the last round. No unnecessary risks. You know, his corner will be saying, box, box, box. You got your title defended. All you have to do is box. Unfortunately, it's a good big fight crowd atmosphere right now, and that the crowd can often get a fighter to do things that he normally wouldn't do, or normally knows he shouldn't do. We have a crowd of 700 people here at the Italian Cultural Center. Terrific production put on by North Burnaby Boxing at Night of Champions. Much of the same for Van Leuven. Lunges forward with the one punch and then kind of shies away. He's fighting to find his distance and shies back. Once you find your distance, stand there and fight. He's not able to do that at this point, as he'll throw his punches and shy away worrying about getting what Querido has.
And a lot of the differences, I believe, would be mobility. Carrido is just so fast on his feet that he just can't really, Van Leuven can't really find a comfortable range to stay in.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, but at this point, with that aside, Van Leuven's got to think, this guy hasn't knocked me out so far. I can stand in the pocket and exchange, because that's at least going to be something better than what he's doing at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point in time, he has to take the risks, he has to take the big throws, otherwise the round, it just won't materialize for him.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but with time ticking down, it looks like Adam Carrido is making the first successful defense of his Combsport British Columbia Championship. And 10 seconds left on the clock, so provided no miracles from Van Leuven, we've got our decision, I would have to imagine. Entertaining scrap for our main event, and a good sign of sportsmanship from both fighters. And here's our result. No surprises there, Stephen.
Absolutely not. But when all is said and done, you still got to give Chris the credit he deserves. He's a much older fighter. He came in with the odds stacked against him, Absolutely. Took a lot of shots. Yep. Braved it through. Still kept moving forward.
Yep, I saw online. I'm Lev Jackson with Stephen Chu.